This is Christine Napier, producer of the Mountain Morning Show. I'm here at the McPolin Farm, the iconic barn that you see as you drive into and out of Park City. I've always wanted to learn more about this farm and this beautiful property, so I reached out to Park City Municipal and the Friends of the Farm Committee. Let's go check it out.
Some of us who became involved with it early on realized what a beautiful place it is, what an important, iconic property it is in the viewscape on the way into the city, and just what a delightful amenity it is for citizens of Park City or visitors to come visit. So the Friends of the Farm have been programming it and working on changes to the physical plant as those come up, interpretive signs, our app that helps people to learn their way around. And over the course of time, the trails that you see behind the farm buildings were built, and they're multi-use trails, and they're nice connectors. And I think linking the other trails in town to the county trails was one of the original objectives that we had, and that was very successful. That happened very early on in the evolution of this place, and I think they get a lot of use. If you come out here and just sit and watch, you'll see a lot of citizens coming out here and enjoying the property on their bicycles, pushing baby carriages, hiking, running. It's getting a lot of use, which is great. A lot of the new electric bikes keep turning up out here, and that's kind of fun. The Friends of the Farm sponsor and put on 3 of those events. The next one that's coming up is called YBDIO, which means your barn door is open, which for many years meant that we would actually open up the barn and people could look inside. And now that the barn has been restored and rebuilt, it's possible to go inside the barn and learn more about dairy farming in Summit County, which is a great treat. Dairy farming, for those of us who didn't grow up on farms, is, I think, intrinsically interesting, and there's a lot of implements and history that building can make available to us. I hope that we will maintain it as a park and as a meeting place and as a place where people can come out individually and just enjoy a nice day. In the fall, we do the Scarecrow Festival. You know, we wind up with the scarecrows along the trail. The Full Moon Snowshoe happens in the winter. It's just another fun thing to do out here. Won't change your life, it'll just make you have a really nice day.
But I do remember the very first time driving into Park City. It was a pretty good blizzard going on. You know, 224 behind me was a 2-lane road, and I remember coming in and just seeing this big farm out here, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and kind of stuck with me. You know, it's definitely a landmark of Park City. It's nice the way it is as just kind of a community spot that people can come out and enjoy, not only for events, but just, you know, come out here and have a picnic and walk around and see all the cool historic stuff. So yeah, the walking app, if you go to Utah Heritage Walks, that's the name of the app. It's both on Android and iPhone. And it just walks you around the site, and we have these interpretive signs around the site, and it's kind of an expansion on that. So it's really a lot of interesting information about the history of the farm, about the families that lived here, and you know how it developed over the years, and as well as the site across the street, which over by the old lean-to, where the original one of the original farmhouses was. So it's nice to have that kind of barrier between, you know, the development out at Kimball Junction and the development in town.
Farming isn't very common in Park City history, and so this is a unique site that tells that story. This is one of those sites where I think a lot of people pass through and are enjoying the trails or the cross-country skiing, but I don't know that they know a lot about the history of the farm. We had this opportunity to partner with Preservation Utah to develop a walking tour app, and we thought the farm would be a great place to launch that and showcase some of the historic resources here. It has about 10 different stops throughout the farm, and each stop tells a little bit about the history of that building. There's some audio from Betty McPolin Burt, who used to live here and was raised on the farm. The app was developed by the Friends of the Farm. We all got together and we did research, we pulled together photographs, and then we put it into this format that Preservation Utah then launched as part of their Utah Heritage Walks.
We were fortunate to be able to restore the barn and do some structural upgrades to help with snow loads and to make sure that it's here for a really long time. So when that process started, there were steel cables up in the hayloft just to keep it standing. So we took those out and put in a steel structure through the whole building. So to keep it standing. People can come into the barn and enjoy it, and we're planning to have tours of the barn that'll start in spring and summer of 2019. You can visit the McPolin Farm website, which is on www.parkcity.org. That'll list our events. That has my contact information if you have any questions or want to know more. Yeah, just enjoy it.
So this is the farmhouse at the McPolin Farm. It was originally built around 1900, we're not sure exactly. And then in the 50s, it actually pretty much burned to the ground. I mean, there were a few things they were able to salvage from it. A lot of this flooring is actually original to the house, and you can see there's some burn marks there. This kind of linoleum type style floor here is actually original to the house. Then you can see we have a lot of old items that we have in here just to kind of give it that neat feel, the old Philco radio and sewing machine and furnace and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty cool building. If you do come out to events, we usually have the farmhouse open, so you can do guided tours in here.
The app talks about the tool shed, the outhouse, and the bunkhouse. And the bunkhouse was actually built in 1935 to house some of the workers on the farm. This is a very state-of-the-art outhouse because it has 3 holes or 3 seats, one for men, women, and children. And that's something that's highlighted by the app. And then behind me is our tool shed, and it actually has a bunch of tools that were donated to us from the McPolin family that would have been used on the farm.
I want to thank Park City Municipal and Friends of the Farm Committee for showing me around today. Make sure to check out parkcity.org for more information about the app and upcoming events here at the farmstead. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.